Hey, I hope you guys are doing well. My name's Hans, and I'm making this video about psychedelics, death, and self-mastery. So, how do these three things tie together? Why am I making one video about all three? Well, first off, psychedelics, what I use them for is to simulate death. That's what I think is the most useful practice when it comes to using psychedelics. Accepting death and overcoming your fears is a part of self-mastery. So that's how, in basic terms, they all tie together. Now, so what's the goal? What's the point of even going down that path of the spiritual path, right? Of using psychedelics, facing down your death, and working on yourself to become a master of yourself. And the ultimate goal is liberation. So what does liberation mean? Liberation means letting go of all of your attachments to your life, mind, body, soul, everyone you know, your pets, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your best friends, family. And once you let go of the ultimate fears, all that you have within you, love is on the other side. And this experience of letting go of all that is that you know currently and facing your death produces the most profound sense of euphoria, ecstasy, spiritual rapture, an infinite ocean of divine love, fire, and that just pervades all of creation in infinite directions, this omnipresent love. And you go from just being a drop in that ocean of love to becoming the ocean itself. And it's the most profound, the best feeling I've ever experienced in my life personally. So let's start from the beginning. Psychedelics. We're talking about LSD, mushrooms, DMT, peyote, which is a cactus. And what these substances do is, well, the physical aspect of what they do is much too complicated for me to get into in this video. There's plenty of videos about that. But here I'm going to talk about the psychological aspect. What they do is they raise the vibration, the frequency your body's vibrating at, because everything is vibrating, right? You can think of Nikola Tesla. He said, to understand the universe, think in terms of frequency and vibration. So you can take an atom and split it infinitely into smaller units, right? And it's just going to keep getting smaller and smaller. But what is the essence of that atom, right? It is it's just a vibrating energy. Everything will get infinitely larger and infinitely smaller, and it's all part of one infinite divine being. This is all a dream within the mind of God. So psychedelics, what they do is they raise your vibration and tune the frequency. Your mind is currently tuned into the frequency that you're at right now. The psychedelics raise it so much so that your mind tunes into a higher dimension, a higher frequency. And what really helps with that is meditation, because right now, everyone and everything is God in disguise. Everything you look at is pure, infinite, divine love. okay? But if you don't feel as though you are in heaven right now currently, it's because there's a lot of lies in society that have been taught to your parents, that were taught to you. And now what happens is you live in a matrix of lies. For example, you can think of the image of perfection that you have in your mind of a person that's perfect. When your parents were raising you, they told you what you did was wrong, what you did was right, you're good, you're bad, and now they created this image of perfection in your mind. And then you judge yourself, condemning yourself, and now you have these painful emotions throughout your psyche, your soul, your emotional body. And these are vibrations, real vibrations that you can feel inside of yourself, causing yourself to feel like you're in hell. But that programming you were taught by your parents of what is perfect is all lies. God is perfect, and God only makes perfection. You are perfect here currently right now. There's no such thing as good or bad. You are perfect, and you have to accept and love yourself and forgive yourself for everything you think you've done is wrong. Forgive others for what they did to you, not so they feel better, but so you feel better, and start healing your emotion, healing your soul, healing your psyche to allow God's love to shine through so you can feel heaven. There are needs of your physical body, needs of your mind, needs of your soul and your emotions. Needs of your body would be food, air, water, procreation. None of those needs are going to satisfy your mind. If you're trying to use food to satisfy your mind, you're just going to eat more and more and more. You're going to gain weight. It's going to become unhealthy. Same with sex, same with taking drugs. It's never going to be enough. The only thing to satisfy your mind is peace. And that peace comes from love. And so to allow that love to shine through, you have to work on your emotional body. If you're overthinking and having all these unpleasant thoughts, it's most likely originating from fears inside of your emotional body that you've not addressed yet. These fears typically are attached to survival. So you can think of all the things in your mind that you're afraid of that could lead to your death. So let's say you do something you're afraid of. Think about what you're afraid of and possibly having it manifest. It could lead to your survival. Maybe you do something unpleasant and then society ostracizes you, and then that leads to your death. There's so many fears, practically infinite. And to get over these uncomfortable feelings, you have to sit with the feeling and allow it to flow. Just think of a river. Every time you resist the emotion, you're putting up a dam in a river. And so that emotion is just going to stagnate and sit there until you deal with it. If you don't deal with it, that dam causes the river to stagnate and become a lake, an ocean, until it leads to things like panic attacks, anxiety. And that's why Xanax and Valium is so prescribed predominantly today. It's because people are not addressing their fears. They're doing everything they can to distract themselves from their fears. So you just have to sit with it and allow it to flow. Sometimes they're very difficult to allow. Not difficult, but there's a lot of emotions that are coming out, and it can take days and weeks of sitting with that emotion, not judging it as good or bad, not condemning it, not running from it. Don't run from the hell and chase the heaven. Just allow it to flow through you. The more you resist, the more that pressure of that emotion is going to build up and cause rumination and unpleasant anxiety and thoughts. And that eventually will manifests itself in physical ailments such as headaches, nausea, stomach issues, restless legs, all sorts of different ailments that you can think of. Your skin is going to look more dull. You're not going to glow as much. And then once you have addressed all these emotional issues, you'll start to glow. People say you look better. You'll feel absolutely fantastic. And you'll be able to experience God's love, which is inside of you, and shine because you are now in heaven. We are all angels in heaven. Just think of Adam and Eve. They were in the Garden of Eden, just angels in heaven, till Eve ate the apple of knowledge. That was full of lies. And those lies created a matrix of lies in her head after she had learned language, and then that dragged them down to hell. So right now, if you're looking around at this beautiful world and you don't see love and don't see beauty at everything you look at, it's because of that. Those lies caused emotional scars throughout your body and soul. Once you've healed your emotions, something called the Kundalini is allowed to rise, which is this is going to sound batshit insane, but it's true, a spirit dragon to arise from the base of your spine. There's 7 major chakras in your body. I'm going to get into that in a separate video because it's a complex topic. But once it reaches, these spirit dragons rise up each chakra, purifying in a spiritual fire. Once it reaches your heart will explode into an infinite ocean of divine love, going up your throat to your third eye, bringing about your powers, your psychic powers, divine intuition, and then your crown chakra, where you make peace with death, and you become one king of the universe in an infinite ocean of divine love. As you breathe, it just feels like you're surfing. Your soul is just surfing on this infinite ocean of divine love. It feels like your soul has wings made of love fire. And so in order to allow this love to shine through, this love is inside of you all the time, no matter what. But these emotions are blocking it. You have a magic factory of divine love. As God, you are God. You have an infinite amount of love inside of you. You're the God of infinite love. But you need to heal your heart. Just think of to allow it to shine through. Just think of the Pink Floyd cover with the ray of light hits that triangular prism, and then the rainbow shines out the other side. That triangle prism, think of it as yourself. Now, God's love is always trying to shine through, but if that prism is unhealthy, full of emotional pain, then that love isn't going to be able to shine through the other side. So you have to clean it up. The way you do that is through meditation, accepting and letting go of your emotions, eating healthy, avoiding trash food, overcoming your addictions, which I've made a video about. Please go watch that as well. I made a video about meditation. Watch that. So, first step, clear up the lies. Deal with the emotions. Allow that love to start shining through. All right. Meditation helps you clear up the lies. Right now, you can't think yourself into enlightenment. You can only experience enlightenment directly. You can only experience God directly, which you are. God is infinite. It doesn't fit into a finite thought. That's why you need to meditate and exist here now as a divine being and not think yourself into enlightenment. You can take that meditation. You can start out with crisscross applesauce and sitting down in your room in the lotus pose. Meditate that way, focusing on your breath. Eventually you'll be able to bring that into your daily life, where you can go about your day in meditation, just breathing in that divine love all the time. Watch my video on meditation. I'll teach you how to do that. Now, you're ready to take psychedelics. What they do is they simulate death. I'll make a more in-depth video of that soon. It's coming. But right now, let's just talk about liberation and how to achieve it. In the beginning, once you take the psychedelic, just know millions of people have been through this before and came out on the other side. It's the oldest religion. It's older than religion. It's the oldest spiritual practice that humans have been doing throughout time. Just make sure you test your psychedelics, make sure they're safe. Mushrooms and LSD are not toxic. You can't overdose from them. Always start small. You can always take more, not take less. So, beginning, keep in mind that you're going to want to make peace with death. First thing, you're going to notice very strange and unusual sensations throughout your body. A feeling of strange waves and frequencies moving through your body, electricity. And what you're going to want to do is, instead of walking around this world and try to distract yourself from it, just lay down, meditate, sit with it, accept it. Accepting it is the most important thing, and allowing it to flow. Surrender to it, and that will allow you to open up your heart into the state of liberation. So in the beginning, you might want to do it with a couple friends, somebody to watch you, trip sit you, make sure you're safe physically, in a safe place. Now, for me personally, after doing this for 13, 14 years, I prefer to just lay down and be alone, so I'm not distracted by the outside world to distract me from my internal state, because that's where, excuse me, the liberation can be discovered and felt directly. So think about making peace with death. Every night when you go to sleep, you have a small death. At least that's what they say in yoga. You're so tired that you just let go and you allow your body to rest, and your mind goes into REM sleep, wanders off, eventually start dreaming. Think of that feeling. It's not exactly the same when you're on psychedelics. It's very different, but just think about that feeling of letting go and not fighting it. Surrender to it. And just know that love is the prescription. Love and oneness specifically is the prescription to the fear of death. All fear can be conquered with love and oneness. That's the prescription. You can allow yourself to sit with that fear of death and then let it go. Allow that oneness to occur. Allow your heart to just explode. Now, this death can manifest itself in a infinite number of different ways, I'm sure. I felt it before as very strong, intense sensations of maybe being hit by a lightning bolt on the inside, becoming one with everything, or watching time freeze for a second. The universe shatters into just an infinite ocean of divine love, where it also kind of feels like a lightning bolt shatters my heart, and then I'm just in an infinite ocean of this divine love fire, and nothing else exists. I'm not even aware of anything but love, and that's it. Before I would come back to my body, I've also felt it as though I became a gas cloud of atoms, and it was pretty uncomfortable, but I just accepted it. And then that gas cloud of atoms would vibrate even more and more until I became light and love. Now, if you fight it, don't worry. Just accept it. Feel the discomfort and allow it to pass. And allow yourself to feel that feeling of oneness again. I fought it before, and it felt like I broke my heart, broke my soul, and I was in an infinite room of broken mirrors. And it was very uncomfortable and scary and terrifying. But don't worry, just accept it, allow it to pass, and then allow that love to shine through you again. You can't break yourself permanently. You're a divine being. You're immortal, infinite, and eternal. Not in terms of your physical body, but your true higher self, being God. Excuse me. Now, how does this play into self-mastery? Self-mastery is, I would define that as the ability to maintain the state of internal heaven, of constantly feeling that love, and not judging yourself, condemning yourself, bringing yourself down into hell, and just allowing feelings to move through you. There's a lot of uncomfortable shit that can happen in the world. We're living in the mind of God. This is an imagination of God, a dream within God's mind. and think of all the fucked up shit in the world that also exists internally inside of you. Don't be afraid of it. As long as you can sit with it and allow it to pass through you, it doesn't come up in your mind and cause you pain and discomfort anymore. Just allow it to let it go. Okay? Now, that was my short 20-minute lesson on the basics when it comes to taking psychedelics to simulate death and start working on self-mastery. This is by far the greatest practice you can bring into your life to feel as though you are in peace and in heaven at all times. Nirvana, some call it. There's something about a peace of mind that money can't buy. You become the wealthiest person in the world when you have that peace of mind and that love always shining through you, and life becomes a dream of heaven where you're able to breathe in love with every breath and see God and love within all things, the trees, your family, your friends, your pets, even inanimate objects in the sky, everywhere. Now, I hope this video helps you guys. I'm going to make some more in-depth videos on psychedelics and self-mastery in the future. Be on the lookout for those. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Peace.